Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ryan Tigey. Wanted to get a quick update to y'all about what's going on around the league. We got some rule changes that have occurred in the NFL, also some ownership equity with Mr. Tom Brady, as well as the first impressions with OTAs and everything else around the 49ers and the NFL. Let's get it going. All right. So, first things I want to give you guys an update on is we are looking at the new NFL rules that have come out of the owner meeting. Quite interesting to hear some of the rules. Not really a fan of everything that's going on there, and pretty interesting some stories that we've been hearing leaked, or I don't know if it's even leaked, but some rumblings on Twitter about how these rules got into place. So the first thing that the NFL has instituted is the new kickoff rule. So it allows a fair catch. So anytime a kicker kicks the ball off, a player can wave his fucking arm in the air and call a fair catch, which immediately brings the ball to the 25-yard line. In my opinion, that is taking away from just legacy uh, environments of the game. There's strategy involved with that. There's players that make money from being special teams guys or dudes on the field, and they're kind of taken away from that. What's more interesting is that there was a tweet released that the competition committee and the special teams players and coaches voted no on this rule change. After that happened, Roger Goodell said, okay, let's take a day. And apparently he was going around the ownership groups in the league meetings lobbying for this to happen. His main reason for it, future lawsuits. That is just an honest joke. I don't know why the commissioner, what's the point of voting? Literally. So it sounds like the NFL, which we kind of already know, is a communist state run by one man named Roger Goodell, or Roger Goodell, as one of the Congress members said at those hearings. So my initial takeaway is, although annoying, and I'm not a proponent of it, it is on a 1-year trial basis, and it won't really affect the 49ers. Why I say that? Shanahan's not really a big special teams guy. We can see that from obviously just his various comments over the year. And so, one thing that I think what caused them to move on from Robbie Gould or not pay him the money that he thought that he should make was simply due to the fact that some of his leg, the power behind his leg in kickoff specifically was essentially lost. And with that, they moved on to a new kicker, our boy Jake Moody. And I think in Kyle's perfect world, if he could just kick the ball in the end zone, bring it to the 25 already, regardless, he's good with that. So I think the Niners have high conviction in kicking the ball out of the end zone whenever they're on kickoff. So I don't think it's going to have an immediate impact on us. On the flip side, though, we have now Ray McCloud bringing the ball back. So, I don't think he's a player that's going to be one to fair catch it. But nonetheless, it's a stupid ass rule. They're taking away from what football is, and there have been some badass returners on the field that have flipped the game upside down by just one play, taking it back, house call, TD. Now the game is all of a sudden different. So I think this is kind of a cop out or a pussy move, especially that they're saying for future lawsuits. Now they also say concussions increased 15% because kickers have gotten so good at kicking the ball, they will pinpoint it, on the 1-yard line. So right outside of the end zone. So the returner can't fair catch it or take a kneel and bring it to the 25, that it's requiring them to return it because they don't have any other option. And that has been causing a significant increase in concussions, yet nobody knows where that data can be found or how that data is being measured. A lot of this shit is just going to be simply based off like, what are they looking at when they're measuring it to get the result of 15% increase in concussion rates on kickoff return. The second rule change that occurred was the Brock Purdy rule. a lot of people are calling the Brock Purdy rule. What happened in the NFC Championship game when, our two quarterbacks, when we were already on our third quarterback for the year, got hurt. So our third and fourth QB got injured. They're now allowing three QBs to suit up and be on the active roster without taking away a spot from another position. That is good news. Sadly, I don't think it's really going to mean a whole lot moving forward just because of the fact that it was such a freak occurrence when this happened to Purdy, but it happened to be in the NFC Championship game. And, when you think about the owners and them passing new rules or implementing new things, what's their main focus? They're all about the bottom line. And although it will cost them more money, incremental money to these fucking guys to carry additional quarterbacks, in reality, their biggest priority is what the product is that they put for the viewers, specifically on TV and streaming. And I think that's really why this thing got implemented, not so much of, just concern for this to happen in the future. It's to ensure their bottom line and that they put a good product out to their viewers. So, as it relates to the 49ers, though, I think that could be interesting because, I think Kyle 1000% is going to carry three quarterbacks. We already know he's carrying three quarterbacks and three potential starting quarterbacks right now with Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold. And I think this just emphasizes that point that he is going to carry three quarterbacks on the active roster because if history tells us anything, quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers, specifically that play under Kyle Shanahan, get fucking injured. So that was something else that came out of the league meetings that are happening this week. And then the third thing, not outside the league meetings, but Tom Brady, the GOAT, sounds like he got an agreement with the Raiders to become a minority owner. I think that's awesome. I think ultimately the GOAT's goal is to own a team. May not be the Raiders, but it gets him in the conversation. And obviously, if he continues to build wealth at the rate that he does, minus the crypto.com disaster, but if he does, or not crypto, the FTX, whatever the fuck it is, he lost a lot of money in that one. But if he continues to build wealth like he's easily can do with a couple phone calls, I think it gets his foot in the door to potentially own a team down the road. And I read a report from Mike Florio, Pro Football Focus, and he estimated, or he got from a source, that probably 1% equity in the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, would be about worth $50 to $60 million. So, with the NFL only going up and to the right, I think that's a kind of no-brainer decision. And Tom Brady is now part of the ownership group, pending that it still has to get okayed by all the rest of the owners. I don't know what owner would say no to the GOAT being involved, let alone being in ownership. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is kind of everything that we're hearing. A lot of the media is talking about the Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. What's going to happen? So, when we look at the quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers, it's quite interesting to see some of the conversations that are occurring. What's getting leaked by the team? What's not getting leaked by the team? And I saw something that, obviously we saw in the offseason, Trey Lance went to go work with Patty Mahomes and Patty Mahomes' QB coach. And for the 7 days or however long they worked out, he's been getting a lot of praise from both Patrick Mahomes, saying the guy wants it, he puts in the work, does everything right, as well as from his QB coach saying he's taken significant steps of improvement just from working with them. Which makes me transition into the OTA first impressions. So today was the first day that I saw videos coming out of the OTAs of the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know if it's just me or if you guys see it, is Trey Lance, number one, he looks thicker. And he also looks like he's fucking throwing darts, not hosing it in there like he does with no touch. but everything looks strong, precise. Again, I understand there's no pads on, there's no offensive lineman, there's no defensive lineman barreling down at you. But nonetheless, just based on what I see, there's no question his throwing motion looks tighter. And the dude looks like he's fucking ready to rock. He looks like he's in a good mental headspace. And so I'll be curious to see how kind of things progress with the Trey Lance era. An interesting kind of comment I heard coming out was it was actually from a YouTube commenter. He was watching another 49ers related podcast, and what his comment said was the Niners put on some type of local event. I don't know if it was for fundraising or if they were just doing something with the community. But it was a kickball event, and the 49er players obviously went out there to play. And what he said is he was at that game, at the kickball game, and that Trey Lance, no surprise, man of the people. But Brock, essentially, I'm putting in a little bit summary form here, that Brock was a dick. He shook his head at fans wanting autographs, was kind of lingering around by himself until the cameras were around, and then he started becoming all buddy-buddy. That is very interesting to hear. I don't know what motive this guy would have putting fake bullshit, let alone it's like a local show, so I don't know like how much issues it could cause or publicity it's going to get. But it is interesting to hear. Me personally, I think there's no way. I think Brock Purdy, like everything we've ever seen about him, the guy seems just like a solid fucking good dude. But still interesting to see specifically that he said that this gentleman said that he was there at the kickball game, and that was his impression of Brock. So hopefully Brock isn't becoming too much of a big cock Brock that we can't rein him back in to be the dog that he is. Then the final thing I'll wrap it up with, and I'm going to do a much longer video of a breakdown of the 49ers and specifically the QBs once we get closer. But OTAs just wrapped up. I just listened to a Kyle Shanahan interview. Of course, every question he's getting was peppered around the QBs. And Brock Purdy's still working out with the towel. And then Sam Darnold was the one taking the first team reps. Kyle laughed. He said basically he doesn't even look at these as first team reps. Like I know BA wasn't out there. I think 5 players in total aren't out there, but like one of them being Bosa, which is kind of standard of Bosa to miss these, and he doesn't fucking need to be there. But they asked who took first team reps. Sam Darnold took first team reps yesterday and today, but again, kind of saying it tongue in cheek that it's not really first team. Like, yeah, there are some first team skill players there. I don't even think Debo's there. There are some first team skill players out on the field, but again, he laughed when he said it, and he did say that it will even out. So again, as I said in my prior video, I wouldn't read too much into this. Who's taking first team reps in the first round of OTAs, or I know they did rookie OTAs. Now it's team OTAs. Just wait until training camp. That's when we're going to see we're going to see action in terms of what Kyle is saying versus what they're doing on the field. And that will tell a lot. So you judge a coach by his actions. And the wrap up of this, the 49ers announced that they will host the 2026 Super Bowl. So it sounds like everything will be in San Francisco, all the events, all the media, all the shit that that comes with the Super Bowl. But then obviously the game will be held in Santa Clara. So 2026 Super Bowl at Levi Stadium. That's going to be dope. It would obviously be hot to if we could pull a Rams scenario where we host it and play in it. But we'll see. But I think this is the fucking year that they're going to go on a run. We got too many good players all over the board. We're fucking stacked. Move aside the QB talk, because whoever Kyle puts in is going to be the best QB for it. And I think things are looking bright this year. So with that, y'all, I'll leave you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I fit it up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the buff.